Good evening. This is Dante Steele, and these are your top stories tonight on Volt News Network. Tonight we have many hard-to-hear stories. The militant group Hamas has taken up to 150 hostages and threatens to execute them live on television. The threat specifically was that if Gaza was bombed, Hamas would be forced to kill the Israeli and American hostages. Earlier this morning, airstrikes were conducted on Gaza, and rockets were returned in fire. We can only hope that special forces get to the hostages before it is too late. Warning: this next story is extremely graphic. If there are any children in the room, please escort them away. Reports are coming in that up to 40 babies were massacred in the Kfar Aza community. The most disturbing sights imaginable, the Israeli Defense Force describes the barbarism in unspeakable detail, that some of the babies were decapitated. The emotion this brings forth is just disturbing. We can only imagine that Israelis are grieving and demand justice for this villainous act. The White House refuses to commit to a refreeze on the $6 billion it will allow Iran to access after a hostage deal. These funds will undoubtedly be used for purposes against United States interest, seeing as Iran is cheering on the Palestinian attacks. Many senators, House representatives, thought leaders, and political activists are at odds with each other, with one side calling for harsh sanctions for all parties involved in the conflict, while some representatives, thought leaders, and protest groups are cheering on the Palestinian efforts across the globe. Places like New York and Sydney, Australia saw pro-Palestine protests, so this issue is sure to press on the heartstrings on an extremely large percentage of the global population. Volt News does not take sides in this impartial reporting, however. We are against the slaughter of babies. Thousands are dead so far in the conflict, and there does not seem to be an end in sight, as Israel announces that the border has been secured. However, a siege of Gaza with blockades and strict military security and enhanced presence has been announced, with the decision of whether or not to infiltrate Gaza looming. There seems to be a lot of Israeli anger and rage, so to not escalate the conflict further by the Israeli side would take a lot of willpower and desire to settle this diplomatically. As of right now, a ground invasion of Gaza is not off the table. These are your harrowing top stories tonight. The war in Israel is heating up. We pray for peace. Good night.